All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is DF Basy. All right, so I'll be basically showing you how to identify a break of structure and a change of character. So, most times, many of you take losses. This is why many of you make series of losses in the market. Why? Because you cannot understand a proper break of structure and a proper change of character. So now, a break of structure is basically showing when the market breaks structure following a trend continuation, continuing a trend of the market, be it bullish or bearish, while a change of character is actually showing a possibility of the change of the trend when the market is changing from, let's say, it's bullish, is changing from being bullish to bearish, or it's bearish, changing from being bearish to bullish. These are the simple mistakes that many traders make and ends them in series of losses in the market. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to identify a proper break of structure and a proper change of character to understand the trend and trade according to the trend, right? So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Please, if you're new to my YouTube channel, please like the video and share the video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. So let's dive in. For this, I'll be using BTC USD, the chart. So this is BTC USD, right? So now, looking at this chart from here, we're marking out, no, I'll marking out where we're using the data we're using. So this is the data we'll be working on from here to here, right? So now I think most of you watching the video should be conversant with your structures. So hold on, let me shift this. So with your structure, you should identify that this, when you talk about an uptrend, this is an uptrend. When you talk about a downtrend, this is a downtrend, right? So what is market basically doing here? Market is creating series of what? In an uptrend, what is market doing? It's creating higher highs and higher lows, right? It's creating, this is hold on. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. This is a higher high. This is a higher high, higher low, higher high, right? But for a downtrend, this is a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So basically, this is an uptrend and this is a what? A downtrend. So let's go back into the chart. Once you can, once you are able to identify that, if you don't really know much about structures, I have videos on structures on my channel. You can check them out. Go to the channel. There's videos. I'll push sure to pin it here. So once you can identify this, identify the structure, you understand that in an uptrend, what is the market doing? Market is breaking structure to the upside, right? So market is breaking structure. So this is what this is an uptrend. Then this is our higher high, and this is what our higher low. So what is market doing? Market is going to break structure, break this higher high, following the trend, break it completely. Then you have what? A BOS here. Have a BOS there, breaking structure to the upside. Then what do you expect for market to do? Market comes down, tap here again, and continue the same process. Breaks again, right? So this is called a break of structure. Breaking structure to the upside, following the trend. For a downtrend, it's the same thing. We have this market break structure, then we break a structure here, then comes back, still does the same thing, right? So in a downtrend, market is breaking structure to the downside. In the bullish trend, market is breaking structure to the upside. So with that being said, now for a change of character, when market does this, let's say in the bullish trend, break structure to the upside, comes down again, break structure to the upside, comes down and break structure up to the upside. Instead of coming down again, instead of breaking structure to the upside, it reacts here at a zone here. Let's say we have a support zone there, or we have a demand zone. It comes back and takes out this higher low, close fully down, comes back and taps and touches the, let's say there's an order block around here, and then starts creating structure. So a particular point, then it does the same thing and does this and this. So basically, this is how the market moves. Let's say we're having a swing, this is a swing point from here to here. We have another swing point from here down to here. We have another swing point from here down to here. So now in this swing points, let's say this is now in an overall trend. In an overall trend, let's say this is our, hold on. Let's say this is a higher low, and this is a what? Higher high. And this is a higher low. This is a higher high. So now overall trend, let's say this is the daily time frame. A market, this is the structure we have on the daily time frame. This we have this structure, let's say daily time frame, you see market do this, come back and do this, right? On the daily time frame. But now breaking down to your 4 hours time frame, you now see substructures. You see substructures, which are the what are the substructures you see? These are the substructures. This, so this, the whole of this. All of this is the substructures. So now, while trading on the 1 hour, 4 hours, how do you identify what trend the market is giving you in those time frames, those different time frames? How to understand the break of structure, power break of structure, and change of character? It simply is as simple as it is. Now, this is the trick. Let's read this up. Calm down here. All right. So now, a break of structure is known as BOS. The B is for break, the O is for off, and the S is for structure. So a break of structure is a trend continuation. In an uptrend, price breaks the previous high. In a downtrend, price breaks the previous low, right? Then, in a change of character, it's a possible trend reversal. In an uptrend, price breaks the previous higher low, and in a downtrend, price breaks the previous higher and lower high. So simple memory, break of structure, trend continuation, change of character, possible trend change. CHOCH is called change of character. The CH is for change, the O off, then CH character. That's when market is changing its character, changing its trend, right? So now inside the structure, let's come back here before we move to the main chart. Now, inside this structure, what can you see? You see markets breaking structure to the upside. I have a break of structure here. You have another break of structure here. Two double break of structures. So what do you anticipate the third break of structure over here. After this break of structure, what do you anticipate the fourth break of structure? But what does market do instead? Goes back up, mitigates this block here, turns it to support a resistance zone. This taps this resistance zone that's here. After tapping it, what happens? Comes back down and breaks this low. This is the higher low, the recent higher low which it created. This low. This is the recent higher low it created. It comes back down and breaks that guy. And what do we call? Once it breaks that guy, what do you call this move here? It's called a change of character. Then market pulls back up instead of breaking structure to the upside again, like this. It comes, pulls back up, mitigates this, and breaks structure again. Then you can confirm your trend has changed, right? Then you can confirm you have a change of trend, like you have a change of market structure shift. Market structure have changed from a bullish market structure to a bearish market structure. Then you have the change of character here. Then you have your first what? Your BOS. Your, BOS. Have your BOS, then you have your next BOS here. Then you have your third BOS here. After you stay BS, what do you expect? You expect markets from there to break structure again to the downside. But unfortunately, market doesn't do that. What does market do? It instead takes out this high, this higher low, takes out this higher low, then retests here, turns this to a demand zone, and then buys and breaks structure again. Once you break structure now, you have your first break of structure here. It's now your first break of structure. Then you have your second break of structure. Then with this, what do you expect? You expect markets to pull back. That's what you expect. Expect to pull back. Then your third break of structure right over here. But now in this zone, this scenario, what happened here? What happened here? Um, what happened here? What happened inside here? And what happened here is what we call a change of character. This guy, change of character. This guy is a change of character. So now what was the character here? This was the character. The character was market was always breaking structure. It's a behavior, a pattern. Sorry. Market was always doing what? Breaking structure. You have a BOS, breaking structure. So that was the character the market had, a particular character, the trend. It was breaking structure. But all of a sudden, it failed to break structure again. Took out this low, this higher low, which it wasn't supposed to take out. That's when you now call it a change of character, right? You have a change of what? Character over there. Then after the change of character, market pulls back, mitigates, and sells. They now break structure. It now continues what this change of character predicted. So that's why you call it a possible move. Now, most of the market might sweep, create a change of character, but meanwhile, it might just be sweeping like inducement or engineered liquidity and then looking forward to continue the trend and breaking structure to the upside. Then you and now still have your break of structure. Once you still have this, you know that maybe this was just a liquidity. So this was not a proper change. When a proper change, after the change happens, what do you see? What happens? You see market do this. Market after sweeping, having a change, you do pull back, mitigate, then sell. Now break, give you a proper break of structure. So when you count your first break, you count your second break, which will be here, BOS, then you count your third break, which is here. So after this top break, what do you expect? You expect market to still break, but instead market took out this high. So now maybe you're thinking, okay, it's taking this high as liquidity, right? This higher low as liquidity. So you didn't really take it as a change of character. But what then happened? Market came back, bounced here, and broke structure again. Give you a first break of structure. So this now becomes your change of character. This is when the change happened. Okay? That's where the change happened. We first notice the change, then still break structure to the upside, giving you. So now this from here, from this zone down, is your is your bearish structure. From this zone up, is your bullish structure. From this zone up here is also what your bullish structure. Hope you understand this. So now, basic understanding of this, let's dive into the chart. Sorry. All right, let's dive into this chart. Now, to understand your break of structure, market needs to do certain things. Now, that high, now let me go back here. This high or this low, market has to break close with a full body candlestick. If it closes with a wick, it's not really counted as a break of structure. But once it closes with a full body of a candle, that's when you identify that your break is genuine. You have a genuine break of what structure. So now let's look at Bitcoin. We're looking at Bitcoin, BTC. So now what's the D here? What's the mark here? Bitcoin has been bullish from since creation. So this is 2021 Bitcoin, which earned all-time of $68,000, then dipped down to $14,000, $16,000, 14, 15, started creating bullish structure. then pumped all the way down to $72,000. Then it ranged from there to drop to $47,000, 2024. Then it moved 2025 to 106,000. And 2024, it moved to $107,000. It dropped to 77, 73, $75,000. And it pumped all the way to 124, $25,000 in 2025. And now 2025, 2026 has been dropping. It's been dipping, right? So now let me pick out where you have a change of character. Firstly, in a change of character, what did I think happens? Now, if you look at this, from this point, from here, from that point to this point, what happened? Market was bearish. You have a bearish structure from there. From this point to this point, you have a bearish structure. So what actually happened? What indicated the change of the bearish structure? Now, normally we're expecting a what? Market as it broke structure to the downside, expecting market again to break structure, it broke structure to the downside. You're now expecting pullback, a break structure to the downside. The market pullback, use this breakout block and tapped here and broke structure, right? So this is where you indicate is a change. Instead of it breaking structure to the downside, it changed and did otherwise, breaking structure, calling it a break structure to the upside. So you have CH, you have a change of character there. So now, what solidifies that? Okay, this change of character signifies a possible change of trend. So what solidifies? Okay, this gas finally changed trend. Is you now look for what? What do you look for next? Look for your next break of structure, your break of structure, confirming that change. What the market is, the market coming back, break structure here. Okay, you say, okay, market still on course and market still bearish. Market did this, still broke structure to the upside. It kept down again, now broke structure again. So with this, you can identify that, okay, this change of character actually worked. And then we can understand that market is now bullish, right? So everything we're looking for now is now buys. And you can see, you can look closely, market has been buying since then, right? So now to identify your structure, your break of structure, your market has to close above the high and close above the high or the higher low or the lower the sorry, it has to close above the high or it has to close below the lower low. So now look at this. Let's look at this chart in real time. Now, if you look at this, what do you see? You see what? Market dropped down here, bearish, came back. It didn't break structure. It didn't break structure up either. Consolidating. They have another break. You have a break of structure inside this zone. Broke structure, came back again. What do we have? Market tapped it. It didn't break this guy. Tapped here. The next thing, what do we have? A break. Now, in this break, what do you see? What guarantees this guy as a break of structure? What guarantees this move? Solidifies this move as a break of structure. Marking out this place as your break of what? Structure. Because this is the closest highest higher high. Because if you look at this trend, you can see that this guy has been bearish. So this is the bearish trend. Let me mark this out. This was the break of structure for the bearish trend. So you look at this, this was the higher low, lower high, right? Let me also mark that out. Lower high, higher low. Sorry, higher, lower low. This is supposed to be lower low. Sorry about that. This is the lower low, and this is another lower low. So identifying this downtrend, this down push here. But what happened after market broke structure to the downside? What do you do? You have a change here, right? What's the change now? If you look closely, if you look closely now, this is the last higher low. This is the last higher low here. for the downward trend. That's higher low. Sorry, lower lower high. I'm always mixing these things up. But this is the last lower high. So this is the last lower high for this downtrend. But you can see market came back, broke above this, came back and broke above this. Now, what did you just break? It broke above this candle, this candles here. It broke above them with a full body. So now, if your candle doesn't break above with a full candle, it's not a change. And if it doesn't break with a full candle, it's not a break of structure. So it broke above this. Instead of following the trend, mitigating and selling, it broke above it. So now what happened? When market came back down, the market to break down here and give you a break of structure to the downside. Instead, it respected this zone as a demand zone and then moved back up. Respected the zone as a demand zone and then move back up. So at this point, we cannot call this guy our higher low yet to indicate the break of structure. This guy currently is a change of character. Why? Because market has changed the character which it was moving in. Let me check, write this change of character. That's changed the character which it was moving in, which was this bearish structure, creating lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. But instead, it broke above this guy, full body. So we now call it a change of character. Coming back down, since market hasn't broke below this guy for us to mark it as a break, to mark this guy here, broke below this guy with the full body, mark it as a break or structure. Instead, he respected this guy, this block over here. Start respecting the block, he bought. Then after buying, it came and broke structure. It took out this, see this high that was created by the change of character. Took out that high now. So now this high, after taking out this high, what just happened? You just take out the high. Because if I'm using the word take out, it sounds like liquidity sweep. It closed full candle. There's a full candle closure. Full candle closure above this high. Closed fully, like you have like one, two, three green bullish candle before retracing. So after it closed, that's when we can call this our break of structure. BOS. And with this now, we can see, oh, fully the trend of the market has changed. The trend of the market has changed to what? A bullish structure. So it's changed from a bearish structure from here down to a bullish structure. And after that, what do you see again after that? We have another break of structure here. Have another break of structure here. Here we have a green candle closing bullishly. Have a green candle, close it above it, close full candles. Do you have wicks over here that try to only like liquidity grab them before selling? We have a full closure candle here. So with this, we can mark this out as our what? Break of what? Structure. A break of structure. So now with understanding this, now we know that okay, since this high was taken out, now we now have a what? A bullish structure. So this is now what our what? Higher low. So we have this also as a higher low, and this we have this over here as a what? Higher high. So understanding this key concept, the candle, the rule of the change of character and the BOS is the market has to close, it has to, the candle, the rule, sorry, for BOS and change is that close with, sorry. All right. So now the rule is this. For BOS and breakage, the rule, the rule is the candle has to close with a full body, a full body. That's very important. That is where most of you get it wrong, and that is where most of you incur losses. And that is how you don't understand the current structure of the market. That is where all of you get it wrong. So that rule is what makes it. You need to understand this rule for BOS and change of character. The candle has to close with a full body. It's as simple as that. Once you understand that, you know that you're on right track and you can know how to set, you can pick good order blocks, good entry points, and good TP. You can set good TPs and all, right? So now, with this, following this, now what can you see here? Still on the trend. What can I say now? We have a change of character. Okay, we have a okay. This guy didn't break structure. This guy didn't break structure. If this guy had broken structure, so now why we will have a change of character, a clean change of character is this guy. Okay, yeah, this is our first change of character. Sorry, this is our first change of character over here. We have a change character. Why you have a change of character here? This guy also according to breaking of structure. So what we're expecting market to come back, pull down here after the break, still break up, but instead we have clean, full closure of candles below this guy. And market is pulling back up. Market hasn't broken above. Then what do you have now? Market is taking out this low, which it created. Now creating, marking it out as a what? A break of structure. So for me, I don't know about anybody, but for Bitcoin, I'll be expecting sales on Bitcoin for market to come back, go back, break structure again, and tapping this other block. Tapping this other block. If I were to buy from this other block here, I'll be expecting confirmations, strictly confirmations, because now the structure bringing markets down to that zone is bearish. And that would be like counter trend, a counter trend trade. So what I'll be looking for from here, I'll be looking for sales market to come back to this block here. Then I take a sell targeting where the next breakout structure, which will be here. But if market indeed reaches here first, this block here first before which is this block first before moving upward, I'll be looking for confirmation, strict confirmation before placing the trade. So if you can understand this rule, this simple rule, you understand and you'll be able to know how to reach price movements. You'll be able to understand a proper break of structure and a clean change of character. And this will help your analysis and help in you having good and clean entries in the market and also minimize your losses. Every good strategy needs an understanding of this. These are the basic principles. And with this, without this, you won't go far, you'll make it serious losses. So I've come to the end of our video. Please kindly like and subscribe, share the videos to as many people as you can. And remember, study hard so you can trade easy.